The relationship between China and India has been extremely strained since Sino-Indian War in 1962, which happened in Himalayan borders, where recent Galwan Valley crash took place. India suffered great loss with nearly double China's death. India was left delicate wounds, and tensions between the two nations have been high ever since. Both countries have ramped up their militaries across the border, since naturally, as the two nations are populous and militarily powerful and nuclear armed. The world is biting its nails to see what happens next. Which country has what it takes to bring home a final victory. India's military ranked 4th in world, just behind China, which is ranked 3rd. China's defense budget, which is astonishing $252 billion, is 4 times larger than of India's defense budget of 65 billions. This allows China to invest heavily updating and modernizing their military. As of 2021, China's GDP stands at $12.2 trillion, almost 5 times India's GDP, which is $2.9 trillion. Indian population of 1.3 billion people will very soon surpass China's population of 1.4 billion, which has controlled their birth rate remarkably. China is also doing significantly better than India in sociological front. Their rank in Human Development Index is 85th, which is significantly better than India, which is at rank 131. It seems that people in China are happier than people in India as its rank, and happiness index is also much better than Indian's rank. Even with less freedom, people in Communist China are doing better than people in Democratic India, according to this index. Anyway, now let's move to the borders. Main battleground between India and China war would be the mountain range of Himalayas and in its difficult terrain. Number of soldiers would be a decisive factor. China has the highest number of active military personnel in the world at 2 million, with a standing reserves of 0.5 million. India is not very far behind with 1.4 million active personnel and reserve of 0.65 million more. The numerical difference between the army is not very big and can be nullified by the vehicles that the armies have. India has 4,200 tanks, that is 1,000 more than China's 3,200 tanks. However, this is not the whole picture of ground capabilities of the countries. The number of armored ground vehicles with Chinese army overall is 33,000, is much bigger than India's 8,600. This gives a huge boost to China's ground firepower. It gives China considerably ground superiority. China also holds dominance over the skies with 3,200 aircrafts compared to India's 2,123. It has also doubled the fighters and interceptors jets and with 1,200 to India's 540. The main battle would be between India's newly produced Rafales versus China's J-20, which is considered as a cheap Chinese copy of superior American F-35 jets. China has a fighter fleet of J-7, J-10, J-16 versus India's fighter fleet of more outdated MiG-29, Mirage and Sukhoi jets. Once again, sadly for India, this trend continues into the country's navies. In terms of total naval vessels, China outnumbers India by 775 to 285. More specifically, China has 74 submarines versus India's 16, 36 destroyers versus India's 10. If war was decided on equipments alone, it's unquestionable that China would take a win here. Nobody would want to escalate the war to this level because China and India are both nuclear nations. But in any case, China has an edge here. China has more nuclear warheads, which is double India's warheads. It has stockpiles of 290 to 300 nuclear warheads, compared to India 140 to 150. Their expenditure on their nuclear program, which is $10 billion, is 5 times of India's nuclear expenditure, which could mean that they have 5 times more deployed nuclear warhead than India. Thankfully for the world, both nations have a no first strike policy, but on the sheer number, China takes a clear win. One factor that can change the face of battle is the network of aliens, diplomatic and military friends. Can be make or break factor in case of war. China will most likely be working alone or may be supported by Pakistan, whereas India is building strong relationship with a number of nations, which includes United States, Japan, France, and Australia, through number of joint military drills with them. This can turn the war into India's favor, provided the allies come to support. So, who would win? Turns out it is a lot more complex. The battle would be between China's superior number and monetary advantage versus India's strategy and network of allies. Let us know in comments below who you think would win, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos.